Welcome back. It's David Cowan again with another of our Out of the Vault series. And in the next case, we're going to pick up where we left off, which is some ticker from the ticker tape machine that we showed you. And it's arguably the most famous, or perhaps infamous tape that is out there, for it is none other than the first 45 minutes of October 29th, 1929, a Tuesday, and the second day of what we associate with the Great Crash. Over 2 days, the Monday and the Tuesday, stock prices lost some 25%. We actually have two tapes in our collection, this and another one, and as far as we know, they're the only two that exist, so very rare indeed. We also have a lot of newspapers from that time period, and one of my favorite takes place from the week before. For on the Thursday, the 24th, the market was down 11% at one point. To stem the panic, the banks, acting like a consortia, stemmed the panic by putting in a lot of buy orders, and the market closed only down a couple of percent that day. And so what did the newspapers do on that Friday, October 25th? Well, at least one of them said, "Stock market crisis over." And was it over? Of course not. It had only just begun. That headline is reminiscent of another famous newspaper gaffe, the 1948 presidential election, when President Truman did win, but one of the newspapers thought his challenger, Thomas Dewey, won, and the famous headline, "Dewey defeats Truman." One note often overlooked about that great crash in 1929 is what happened right afterwards. And the point is, the Dow had reached a high of 381 in September, and around the time of the crash, October 25th, to pick a date, the market's trading around 300. So it's already off some 20%. And then the market collapse happens, and we trade to below 200. And then over the course of the next 5 or 6 months into April, the market actually rallies back to around 300 or so, before, of course, then taking the great slide. And most people don't realize that there was a bit of a recovery before everything went south. The low point will be July 8, 1932, when stocks will have sold off some 90%, and they'll never regain those levels until 1954. The last item in this case is a wonderful one. It's from Franklin Delano Roosevelt when he's governor of New York, and he's writing 6 days before the Great Crash, October 23rd, 1929. And he's telling his broker to sell some shares. But then in pen he writes underneath, "Buy instead of sell if you think best. FDR." Oh no. Well, we don't really know what happened, whether the broker chose to buy it instead of sell it, but we do know often that brokers, if they like it at 100, well then they certainly like it at 90, and even more so at 80. But bigger picture, what this goes to show you that even those you think might be in the know, like the governor of New York, had no idea what Wall Street was going to do in the next few weeks. I'll be back again with our last case in a week or so.